and welcome to another pick a card reading. Today's reading is the dreaded question that I hate, and it's a deal breaker if any guy asked me. Why are you single? Why are you single? I will block you if you ask me why I'm single. It's crazy because when I was happy being single for years and years and years, people used to think I was a loser. Now that I want to share my life with someone, people call me a loser. And it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm not a loser in any of these scenarios, right? It's okay to want what you want, okay? It's okay to want to be single. It's okay to not want to be single. But anyway, whenever someone asks you this question, your pile is going to be a way to deal with the dreaded question, right? So you have 3 piles to choose from. We have pile number 1, Mickey Mouse. Can you see? Yes, I have my DSLR. Finally got it back. We'll see if it survives because it shuts off every 10 minutes, and that's partly why I don't use it, because I miss a lot of messages that way. Pile number 2, we have the man with no legs. The man with no legs. And then we have Duckling. Ooh, Duckling for pile number 3. So pile number 1 is going to be, oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind, hey, Mickey. And pile number 2 is going to be no legs, no feet. And then pile number 3 is going to be this little duckling. Okay, let's get on to it. Pardon my nails. I've been painting for my roommates. They're actually, landlords, they're actually getting married. So it's kind of funny that I'm doing this, why are you single reading when there's so much joyful celebration in my household at the moment. They're a good couple. I'm happy for them. So let's get on to pile number 1. With Mickey, we have the 5 of Swords reversed, or 5 of Bats. We have the Page of Ghosts reversed. We have the Page of Bats reversed. And we have the Knight of Imps. We also have Barmbrack, Sweetness and Synergy. So I'm getting a few messages here. I'm actually getting that you might be a really shy person who just kind of hangs back and doesn't really make a move. You're kind of scared of rejection, scared of conflict. The 5 of Swords is a card about disagreements, not seeing eye to eye, a battling of wits, so to speak. And so you might fear, if you put yourself out there, that that whoever your love interest is will just like laugh in your face, right? And I say that because we have the Page of Swords reversed and we have the Page of Cups reversed. Both of those are sort of an immature energy. You might feel like you don't have enough experience, and they're both really reluctant cards. The Page of Ghosts is a really shy energy, very sweet, but shy indeed. And the Page of Bats is the spy stalker card. So you may, watch a lot of people on social media, but not actively pursue them. And so why you are single is because you are afraid of rejection. Why you are single is because you are shy. You might actually feel more confident online. You might actually be too shy to approach someone in person, and so you might develop a habit of online relationships, for better or for worse. When it is for worse, then you might run into a lot of casual relationships, and you might think that these casual relationships sort of protect you from that rejection, because if you can only, if you can sort of laugh it off as, oh, this is just sex, this is just a fling, this is just whatever, then you don't have to face that fear of this little cup not getting offered, right? Your inner child who just wants love and affection to just be received from the one you love. What I do want to say is that we have Barmbrack here. I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards. But it says Sweetness and Synergy. So this is kind of like a king's cake in the U.S. during Mardi Gras, where they bake a cake and they put charms in it. They put a little baby in it, and whoever eats the slice of cake with the baby in it has good luck, right? So during Halloween, I think it's Irish tradition that does this, where they do something similar. They bake a loaf of bread, and they put charms in it, and each of the charms means something different. Well, This message is saying that, one, Spirit is working behind the scenes to bake you something sweet, right? To give you little treasures. And I also get the sense that there's so many people out there that will just delight you, right? There's so many of these experiences, so many of these little treasures, so many of these little charms that you'll find in people, but you have to, you know, take a bite of the cake and not sort of hang back, right? It's like being too shy or being scared of rejection means that you don't get any of this cake, so you'll never be able to find out. I'm hearing the treasure of yourself, right? It's like a lot of the people we date are reflected back to us, and so it's like by not connecting with anyone, you are limiting your personal growth because you aren't seeing what they could reflect back to you. You see what I mean? Like being, like I said, being single is fine, but being with yourself all the time, all day, every day, 24/7, 365 days a year, for like 10 years, you only get to know yourself, right? So you don't have the contrast of anyone else, and you don't have like surprises and, you know, joyful, charming experiences with everyone else. So the message would be to just sort of, show people this sweetness, right? Show people this cup of love and, be a little more, generous with your heart than you might be on a regular basis. Let me know if that resonated. I love you very much. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like a personal reading, please check the description box below. I love you. Bye. Okay, pile number 2. Let's get on to it. Pile number 2. We have Skull of Darkness, Blind Spots. Why are you single, little footless man? Queen of Imps. That's the Queen of Wands. 4 of Imps. We have the Ace of Imps reversed. Lots of fire energy. And the Knight of Bats. So this is a message that I have been annoying people with lately. So I'm probably gonna annoy you guys. There's a study that recently came out that said that women are happier without a husband and kids, right? But I don't think that study I don't think it showed the full picture, because we all have highs and lows, and they asked the couples how happy they were, and they were the happiest whenever they were together, but whenever the partner left the room, they said that they were miserable, right? And so they couldn't do the same thing with the single people because they didn't have that contrast, right? So, of course, single women are going to sort of paint themselves as this Carrie Bradshaw figure. But at night, it's a different story. And many of you who watch these videos, you are looking for a message of love, right? You are looking for someone to share your life with, but you don't want to admit it because admitting it might make you seem needy, right? So with these blind spots, I feel like you aren't acknowledging your human need for love, right? You're in this like fabulous energy. I don't need no man. I can make my own money. You know, I can be with my vibrator. Sorry, that's just the message I get. And, you know, I don't have to deal with that headache. Men are trash. Men are pigs. They're not worth it. But then secretly, you might pop off at men. Like secretly, there's this bitterness about them. Secretly, there's this wanting them to do better, wanting them to charge in and sweep you off your feet, but you just don't want to admit that because that would require some vulnerability, right? Because we have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card about weddings. It's a card about happy homes, foundations. It's the twin flame card, 1111. You might actually be involved in a twin flame experience. And so, you know, perhaps you are separated from your twin flame, and this sort of ego persona that you're dealing with is a way to handle the separation. It's a way to explain to others that I'm doing fine, I don't need anyone, but it doesn't paint the full picture, because ultimately you do want to be with someone you love, right? You do want, like, partnership, and it's not needy, it's not desperate, it's not thirsty, it's not codependent, it's just human. Humans need to be with other humans. Humans need love. We need love when we're babies. We need to be held when we're babies. We need love when we are grown. We need to be held when we're grown, right? We need sex for that release. We need cuddles to release oxytocin. Married couples live longer. And practically, there are a lot of everyday things that make being single for an extended period of time really difficult. And I can speak as someone from experience who has been single for a long time, right? I have to drive myself to the hospital whenever I'm near death. That's not fun. I don't have a legitimate emergency contact. That's not fun. I don't have family out here. My friends, you know, they have their own lives. They have their own husbands and boyfriends to deal with. So there comes a point in your life where you do need someone to share, like, just responsibilities with. If I cook, it would be nice to have someone wash the dishes, right? And I know, like, some of you are probably like, well, men don't do that stuff, men don't take out the trash, blah, 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 blah. But it's not about settling. It's about knowing your need for love, knowing your expectations, and you know, not settling for anything less. So, like I said, it's not a codependent thing. It's not a needy thing. It's not a weak little, you know, withering, shrinking violet, submissive type of thing, right? It's not bowing down to the next man who says that you're pretty. It's about knowing, I am this fabulous lady, right? I'm on fire. I am fun, sexy, popular. Any man would be lucky to have me, right? And acknowledging that, acknowledging your own needs, but acknowledging, like, I would be amazing in someone else's life, right? Like, a good man deserves a good woman like me. And if you're same sex, or if you're male, female, whatever that is, right? This isn't about, it's like adamant independence at the sake of not honoring your own needs. And so, with this Ace of Wands, I feel like this is an impulse, right? Like, maybe an impulse like, well, if he doesn't text me every morning that he loves me, then he doesn't deserve me. Bye, boy, you're blocked, right? So I feel like this is kind of like, with the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Wands reversed, I feel like this is like overreacting to sort of a diva way of expecting love, right? And not really understanding that it requires two people, like an equal give and take, right? Like, it's not just like someone bending at your will, but working together as a team. Like, you want a King of Wands. The Queen of Wands wants a King of Wands, right? And the King of Wands does not, like, he's not submissive to his woman, right? He's Big Papa. So I think why you are single is sort of these blind spots that it's like, you know, telling everyone and their dog that you're fine and happy, but no person is an island, no one is made of stone, you know, going through life's challenges. I've really wanted someone to just hold me. I've really wanted someone to just let me cry on their shoulder. And like I said, I don't have family here, and friends aren't going to let me do that kind of shit, you know? So you do need a partner for that sort of thing. And so I feel like the blind spot is, it's like part of self-love is acknowledging your human need for love, right? Part of self-love is knowing that you deserve love. It's not about like, you know, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life and nobody loves me. It's not that. It's just knowing that a person deserves to have this other fabulous person in their life if they're a good person, right? So it's a balance between being codependent and being independent, and not settling, still having those values set for yourself, but not being too demanding if they don't meet, you know, frivolous expectations, like they don't send you flowers every Friday or whatever it is, right? Let me know if that resonated. I'm sure I'll get a downvote. Some downvotes for that. I love you very much. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like a personal reading, check the description box below. I really do love you. Bye. These readings haven't really been like how you could answer when people ask you, but you know, sometimes the intentions fall a little off. Okay, so pile number 3, Duckling. Ooh, Duckling. It's one of my favorite John Mulaney sketches. Every time I use this duck charm, 2 of Imps, 2 of Wands reversed. Every time I see this duck, I think of that John Mulaney skit. The Devil reversed, the King of Pumpkins or the King of Pentacles, and the 9 of Ghosts reversed. I feel like for a lot of you, you might be like a recovering alcoholic, or recovering from some sort of addiction, but even if you're not, it's like you are recovering from some toxic mindsets, and the reason why you're single is you're really like working on yourself. And I said this with another reading the other day, that this is opposite to the second pile. The second pile is probably gonna hate me, but the third pile is just reiterating that I don't say this with every message, right? Like, the third pile is about cultivating things within yourself, right? I feel like you, and like I said, it doesn't have to be addiction. It could be, although there is strong addiction here with the 9 of Cups and the Devil, but it could just be negative thought patterns, things from your childhood that like messed you up. It could be bad relationships that planted this little, you know, annoying little brain virus in your head and made you feel bad about yourself. And so you might be working on your career, working on your finances, working on your money, or even just working on basic daily things to give you a sense of stability. I'm hearing like houseplants, but things like that, right? Like more of a simple life. And I think it's really good that you're single, because I feel like you have an understanding about yourself that you need to work through your baggage, you need to work through your issues before you can take on someone else. You need to like cultivate a sense of wholeness within yourself before you can let anyone in your sphere, right? Strong Capricorn energy, just saw that, doesn't have to be though. Anyway, so why you are single is that you are working on being 100% the best you, so that you can give to your future partner, right? And working on 100% the best you requires some purging on your part, some deep, heavy soul work, some things that are very challenging, like they're challenging for you, right? They're stressful enough for you, right? So you don't need to burden anyone else with what you are dealing with, and that is totally okay. And like, pat yourself on the back for understanding yourself enough to not burden anyone else with whatever this is, right? I've totally been there. I totally understand, and people thought I was crazy. So you're not crazy. You're going about it the right way, right? You are building your sense of self up and trying to untie a lot of old karma, old baggage, just old shit, right? You're trying to like release a lot of crap from your life. You might have just got a divorce. You might have cut a really big bond in your life, right? Left a company that was sucking the life out of you, but I feel like you have recently undergone a huge change, a huge shift in your life, and the person you love at the moment the most is yourself, and the person you are devoted to the most right now is yourself, which is great, right? We want to come into union with someone who is whole, right? We want to be whole and come into union with someone who is also whole. So let's see what your oracle card is. Yes! We have Night Song. Okay, so you might even be exploring hidden talents that, you know, others might have poo-pooed, or some creativity, right? But it's just like your own thing, right? To process these emotions, to sort of sort out any mental chaos, any feelings that you may have. And it doesn't even have to be like art for pay, right? It could just be art for your own pleasure. I did say Capricorn, but I was also feeling Taurus for some reason. I can't explain it, but like with this hidden talents, Taurans are very artsy, right? They're ruled by Venus, very visual. But again, it doesn't have to be those signs. Yeah, so you are processing your stuff. And, you know, even if it's just journaling, you are releasing a lot of old stuff, getting it all out, sorting it all out, and coming into your best self, the best version of you. You could also be traveling, I just heard. The Night Song talks about a bird who flies away at night. It's kind of like dreams, like flies away at night and then he returns. So like at night he like finds these talents, right? So your dreams might actually be significant. Past life regression therapy might be great for you at this time. My favorite is Brian Weiss. When I was a little girl, my grandma was obsessed with his book, Many Lives, Many Masters. He is a hypnotherapist, and he was a skeptic, actually. But whenever his patients started talking about the past lives, then he slowly, you know, became a believer, and now he's one of the leading experts on past lives. But he has a really soothing voice, and I've done those regressions. They're on YouTube, but I've done those regressions thousands of times, and I always gain insight from that. So you might want to do some sort of, you know, go under, go deep, and like sort out any baggage. And it doesn't have to be like deep childhood drama. It could even just be like an evil ex, right? That like haunts your life, you know? But I want to give you a pat on the back because you are saying no to toxicity in your life. You are detoxing all of that stuff, and that takes a lot of courage, right? It takes a lot of courage to be by yourself, be with all these thoughts, with all these feelings, with all this baggage, and to have the strength to face it head on, right? And definitely, if you are a creative person, even if you're not, some sort of creativity is going to help you throughout this process. I love that. I'm glad it ended on a good note. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like a personal reading, check the description box below. I love you very much. Bye.